Biden meets Eastern NATO leaders. China and Russia hail stable relationship. Battleground updates. For strikes targeted the city of Kyiv on Wednesday, Mayor Kyiv said on Telegram, noting that explosions hit industrial facilities and that injuries were reported. Fighting rages in the Donetsk areas of Bakhmut, Lyman, Avdiivka, and elsewhere, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said in a speech late Tuesday, describing constant, intense assaults. At least 8,000 civilians have been confirmed killed and at least 13,000 injured in the war over the past year, the UN Human Rights Agency said Tuesday. About 61% of victims were men, and nearly 490 of those killed were children, according to the agency. Our data are only the tip of the iceberg, UN High Commissioner for Human Rights Volker Turk said in a release. 1 in 10 of Ukraine's hospitals have been damaged by wartime attacks, according to a report by Physicians for Human Rights, a U.S. nonprofit group. The group recorded at least 707 attacks on Ukraine's healthcare system as of December 31st, including the killing of at least 62 healthcare workers. In Russian-held territory, many health workers also have been imprisoned, taken hostage, or forced to work under Russian occupation, the report said. President Biden pledged Wednesday that the United States would defend literally every inch of NATO in the case of a Russian attack on NATO territory. Biden is meeting in Poland with leaders of the alliance's easternmost countries, which are particularly concerned about Moscow's aggression. The gathering follows Biden's unannounced visit to Kyiv on Monday and comes a day after Russian President Vladimir Putin announced the suspension of Russia's participation in its last remaining nuclear pact with the United States as the two leaders underscored their growing division in dueling speeches. In Moscow, China's top diplomat, Wang Yi, is meeting with Putin as the first anniversary of the start of Russia's war in Ukraine approaches. Wang hailed relations between the two countries on Wednesday, saying they remain strong and would not be overpowered by coercion or pressure from other parties. China has said it is neutral in the Russia-Ukraine war, but has also regularly given diplomatic support to Russia. U.S. and NATO officials have expressed concern that China could start providing other support, including weapons, for Russia's war in Ukraine. Here's the latest on the war and its impact around the globe. Key developments. Biden is meeting with leaders of the Bucharest 9 countries on NATO's eastern flank. The group comprises Bulgaria, the Czech Republic, Estonia, Hungary, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, Romania, and Slovakia. You know better than anyone what's at stake in this conflict, not just for Ukraine but for the freedom of democracies, Biden told the assembled leaders. Adding that the United States considered Article 5 of NATO's founding treaty, which says an attack on any NATO member would be considered an attack on all, to be a sacred commitment. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg warned B9 leaders that Putin is not preparing for peace a year after Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. So we must sustain and step up our support for Ukraine. We must give Ukraine what they need to prevail, he said. We must break the cycle of Russian aggression. China-Russia relations had stood the test of an unstable international situation and remained as stable as Mount Tai, a Chinese idiom for rock solid, Wang said Wednesday during his meeting with Putin. Earlier, Wang met with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, who said that relations between Russia and China are developing dynamically, despite the turbulence. With both countries ready to defend each other's interests. Chinese leader Xi Jinping is expected to visit Russia this year.